Welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany Malone, and on this channel we talk about all things holistic. That means holistic living nutritiously, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And today we're talking about living a healthy lifestyle financially, because you know what? Your girl is officially debt-free at 28 years old, and I'm so excited, and I'm very excited to share my story on how I became debt-free. Hopefully it inspires you, leaves you with a few tips so you can also be debt-free or whatever your goal is. So let's get started. I'm super pumped. I'm super happy. I already actually filmed this video before, but I didn't have the specific numbers. And I was like, no, I gotta give y'all the real. I need to know exactly how I did this so y'all can do it too. So are y'all ready to get into it? Let's get into it. So basically, I probably should dedicate this entire video to my mother because she taught me so much about finances, and I would not be debt-free right now if it wasn't for her and her education and knowledge that I've been able to build upon since becoming an adult. So with that being said, I didn't have any credit card debt because my mother always taught me to pay off my credit card in full every single month. And to live way below my means. So that's what I've always done, and to always save. So I've been working since I was 16, started off in McDonald's, and when I went to college, I worked at Panera Bread, Frozen Yo, and Trader Joe's, and then after college, I got a job, and I've been working ever since then, and I've always saved my money. So when I completed college, I had $26,000 left to pay off on my student loans. Also in 2017, I bought a car for $18,832.89. So let me get down to the nitty-gritty of how I paid this off. So I graduated from the illustrious Howard University in 2014, and I started paying on my student loans about 6 months later. So originally what was suggested to pay on my student loans was about $163, but I took it upon myself to actually overpay every month because I had the extra money. I stay at home with my mom, and so I had the extra money to put on my student loans. Looking back, I would have even put even more on there to get rid of them faster, but who cares? We debt free now. So basically, I ended up paying $228.67 a month. And so every month I would pay that and pay down my student loans and overpay that. So one thing you want to know when you're overpaying on a debt or a loan, which is basically the same thing, is that you want to call up there and make sure that you are paying on the principal. The principal is the actual debt. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times when you're paying on the when you overpay, they'll just put that money towards the interest. But no, we want the money to go on the principal, which is the actual debt. You want to make sure that overpayment goes on your principal. This is key because they're going to try to keep you paying for a long time. This is very key. All right, so I made sure I called up there and say, look, I'm overpaying, but make sure that what I'm overpaying is on my principal. Do not spread it out to the interest, which cuts down on your payment faster and makes it to where you don't have to pay as much interest. This is super duper important. Okay, so now I'm 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. 2017 is when I purchased my own car. I got a used car from CarMax. So my overall payment for my car was $18,832.89. Okay, and so this is with all the taxes and all the gap insurance that they put on it. That is how much I was paying for my car. But when I went in, I put down a $5,000 down payment. So that brought my loan down to $13,832.89. And so you're probably asking me, okay, I got $5,000 or whatever. Put down a lump sum that you can put down. I also overpaid on my car loan. Okay, so I also have pretty good credit score. we could talk about that in a whole other video if y'all want, about how to boost your credit score. I'm not an expert or anything. It's just, I simply just pay on time and pay in full. So I was able to get a pretty good interest rate. And so my interest rate was, let's see, I think it was 2.95. And I don't play with interest. I don't like interest. I don't like to pay more than what I purchased it for. And so that's why I'm really steady about just knocking these loans out. So just so you know, the higher your credit score, the lower interest rates you'll get on things that you buy, because it shows that you're good with money, that you pay on time, and that they're gonna get their money at the end of the day. Since my interest rate was pretty low and I already put that $5,000 down payment, the suggested monthly fee for my car was about $100. So I instead paid $250 on my car loan every month instead. I always overpay, and like I said about with the student loans, I made sure that that money was on the principal and not on the interest. The interest will get taken care of when I'm paying within that payment, because the original payment of about the $100 is going to take care of the interest as well. So I just want y'all to make sure that your money is going on the principal if you're overpaying. And then I tried to track back my payment statements all the way back to like 2017, but I was only able to go back 18 months. And I don't know when it occurred, but I started super overpaying on my car loan because I wanted to get that debt knocked out. So instead of paying $100, instead of paying the $250 that I was paying monthly, overpaying on, I bumped that up to $500 a month, because I'm like, let's knock this out. I want to see this go down. So I'm paying $500 a month, $500 a month, $500 a month until 2019. I saw that I got to about $5,000 left on my car payment, and I had money saved to where I was able to just knock out the rest of the debt. I was just like, it is what it is. Let's knock it out. So I'm like, okay, cool. I got this debt out the way. Now let's really focus on my student loans. So I went into my Fed loans servicing account, and I realized that I had already paid $4,000 in interest already. And I was pissed off because I'm like, $4,000? You know what I could do with $4,000? And I was like, oh no, they're not about to take any more of my money. I am about to pay this off. So I was telling my brother, like, look, I paid off my car. I'm so happy. He was like, okay, so now that you paid off your car, take that $500 that you were paying on your car and put it on your student loan so you could go ahead and knock that out. And so what did I do? Of course, I didn't listen, but I thought it was a great idea. And I thought that I started putting extra towards my student loans, but when I was looking at my bank statement, it didn't show that. So I kept on paying that $250. So I logged onto the Fed Loan Servicing website, and I saw that I already paid $4,000 in interest, which really got me in high gear to go ahead and pay this stuff off. And I was just looking at the different options, and I saw this option that basically said pay off loan. And so this showed the breakdown of how much more I had paid and how much each loan there was. So there was like several loans of about between $1,000 and $3,000. And so what I did is I looked at each of these loans and I saw the interest rate that was associated with it. So I think the highest interest rate was about 6%. And so in my mind, I was like, okay, I don't have this debt anymore for my car. Let me put all my money and focus towards the student loans. So I decided to, instead of just upping my payment, to attack each loan individually and pay it off. But I did that by attacking the one with the highest interest rate. And I think that was about 6%. No matter how much it was, that's how much I was paying. And so this is where I got really conservative about how I spent my money. So I I put a budget for everything. I was not eating out. I was not buying no new clothes. I was not traveling. I only traveled once, but I also have a travel account that I put aside, so I use that money for that. And I even had to dip into my savings account sometimes to pay off those loans because I was just tunnel vision. I was like, okay, let's knock this out. Okay, I gotta knock this one out. I knocked this one out. And so I immediately started to attack each loan based off of the interest rate. So this interest rate was 6%. I went on and paid that every time I got paid. I will tell you this, when you are overpaying on your loan or whatever it is, they're just going to keep lowering your monthly payment. And so my monthly payment at the end of my student loans ended up being like $74 a month, but I was still knocking them loans out as fast as I can while still paying on that $230, $250 a month. They're going to suggest you a lower rate because they want you to stretch out how long you're paying, because they want you to pay that extra interest. And we don't want to do that. We want to slice that interest so we could pay as much on the actual debt as we can to get rid of it, so we don't have to end up paying thousands and thousands of dollars in interest. That's what they want you to do. And so just know that, yeah, your payment might have been $250 a month that they were suggesting, but since you're overpaying, it's going to go down to $60. And it might be tempting, like, hey, I want to save some money here, save some money there. Only do that if you need to, but stay vigilant and keep overpaying. If you do decide to knock out your loan by loan, continue making those monthly payments as well, because if you don't, you will be charged, you will be late, and you don't want to be late. So continue paying those monthlies as well as attacking loans by loan. And then for some reason, I was looking at my bank account. I had made 4 different payments in April, and I believe that's because that's when all this stuff started happening with the pandemic. I was going really ham up until March, and I was like, oh, okay, things are weird. I don't know what's gonna happen. They put a forbearance on interest, like no one was asking for interest anymore. So I was like, I can kind of chill now because my interest isn't accumulating. But then I talked to my mom and brother about it, and I realized, like, this is the perfect time to pay off my student loans because this is it. I can pay off what it is what it is. I didn't want to wait until they put the interest back on and I have to pay for that too. So I was like, really gung-ho about paying off these loans so I don't have to pay interest on top of it. And so I started going in. Any leftover money I had, I will put it to my loan. And my goal was to be debt-free before May 31st, and that was my 28th birthday. And I was able to be debt-free about mid-May or beginning of May. And it's crazy because I was just looking at my 2020 goals, and my goal was to be debt-free, well, to pay off my student loans by 2020, but things happened different. And so that's how I did it. That's how I did it. And I will say I don't have that many expenses. I do live at home, but I do truly believe that you can do this too if you have a plan and it's steadfast on it. And honestly, I didn't realize how much money I was able to pay off. I was just so amazed looking back at the numbers that I got for you guys. And I just know that if you put your mind to something and you really have a goal and you see it through and you have a process, you can do it. And if that means sacrifice, if you have to live with your parents, if you have to rent out a room, if you have to get an extra job, you can do it if that's what you want to do. And so lastly, here are some other tips that I have for you guys. And that is, number 1, live below your means. I've never been a person to just shop, and I never buy anything I can't afford. I never, ever buy anything I can't afford or I can't pay. And I pay my credit card in full every single month. And I do that by putting my payments on automatic payment. So I know what's going out about every month. And I put my automatic payments on my student loans and my car loans as well. This way it's out of sight, out of mind. You know how much is going to be taken out of your account every month. And you can move accordingly based off of that. If you're trying to just remember to take out this much money here, this much money there, you're going to forget. And you never want to be late on your payments. It messes up your credit, and you don't want that. You just want it to be out of mind, out of sight, out of mind. You know how much you're bringing in every month. You know that. So if there's any extra money you can put on your loans to overpay, do that. If you have some extra money that you have in your savings account that you don't need, you could dump it on your loans if you want. I ain't giving y'all no, like, I ain't no expert, but this is what I did. Okay, so let's go over this. Have automatic payments, so it's out of sight, out of mind. Live below your means so you can save up that bread and be able to put a bag down when you want to. And also budget when you need to, or pick up an extra job, or do both. You know, a lot of times we get buried in this debt because we're not getting paid enough. Be okay with having to possibly pick up a Uber job or DoorDash job, or applying for another job that is a higher salary so you can put more money on your debt or into your dreams. That is a really big one that I think a lot of us miss, is sometimes we can't keep doing the same thing. We have to get a better job. We have to start a business. There's so many things. We have to find out how to get this money. We have to find out how to get this money at the end of the day. I mean, it is what it is. All right, I know that was a whole bunch of information, but that is my story. I know we all have different stories. We have different circumstances, and I just believe in you guys so much. And if y'all like this financial stuff, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know that much, but the more I learn, the more I'll share, because I think it's very important for us to be financially free. And you know, it's not your money until that money you got in your account. If you owe somebody, that ain't your money yet. It ain't. And I want my money to be my money, and I want your money to be your money. So go ahead and like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what some of your financial goals are, and we'll see if we can attack those together. All right, guys, this is about holistic living, and that's in all aspects. We ain't playing with our finances no more. We're gonna be wealthy. We're gonna create generational wealth, and we're gonna do the dang thing. The system ain't gonna work us, but we gonna work the system. You guys are loved, you are valuable, and I'm just so happy that y'all are watching, and I'm just so grateful. Alright guys, this was a long one, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't miss anything. Any more tips, Tiff? Any more tips? Nope, I think this is it.